excited to talk to you guys. Oh, I think it's live now. Okay, I was talking to myself, which is totally fine. Hey guys, how are you all doing this evening? I hope that you all are doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. I can't believe I just, I just I just can't believe that December is basically not December. January is basically over. I can't believe it. Um I don't know where the time has gone. I literally go back to work on Monday from maternity leave. I I can't believe it. How's everybody's month going? I'm super excited to hear about how your new start of the year is going. I hope that it is going really well. We have Alicia is here. Hey Alicia, we have Renee is here. Of course, Cleo is hearing me talk. Hey, how are you? I hope that you guys are having a really good evening. We've got Xena here. Hey girl. So how are your evenings going? Let me know. What's going on where you're at. We've got Dee Dee here, Stacy. We're getting all the snow. So rough start to the year. Oh no. Yeah, so we were supposed to get snow here in like the Broken Arrow Tulsa area. And it's funny, there's this picture that has been going around on like all of the social media about how every single city and county around us got snow today except for us. Like it literally looks like there's like a donut sized hole over Tulsa County, and we just got rain and just sort of like colder kind of weather. Hey, Amber, she says that there's snow there too. Hey, Jennifer. Hi, Janine. And then we just had a big storm a few days ago, almost 50 centimeter, 20 inches of snow. Oh my goodness, that is so much snow. Oh, thank you. So these are actually the Dashing Diva nail stickers. I don't even like go and get my nails done anymore. I literally for probably the past like 2 years since Alex has been born, I don't go and pay someone to do my nails anymore. Eastern Canada. Goodness, so much snow. Okay. So tonight we are talking about Meet Your Baker. So I wanted to see what is your rating for Meet Your Baker. Now, there is a really cool function with this new program that I'm using, and it says to add to the poll that I'm about to create, just put some quotation marks around your answer, and um, it should actually like put up your answers. So I'm going to say, what is your rating? And then let's see if the quotation marks around your work or your comments actually work. So I think I gave it a 4 stars. Let's see if my 4 stars pops up. Oh, look, there it goes. This is such a nifty little thing. So we've got, oh, look, we've got a lot of 4 stars, a lot of 4 stars. We've got 3.5 stars going on. We've got 5 stars, a lot of 5 stars going on. Oh, I like it. I like it. Look at all of that rating. So I think like overall, it's a really like, I think that this is a successful book club pick. Hold on, Cleo is meowing. I gotta go get her. Yes, Cleo. Come on. Come on. I know. How dare I start recording while you are not in the room? I am the rudest person alive. This is literally how she acts when I start filming. So we've got, I think I see 4 or 5 stars. We've got 5, 6 stars. We've got a lot of really, really cool, well, I'm really excited. This is really, really good. Okay. So overall, really, really, really good book pick. That's super cool. I'm really, really excited that you guys are liking the Meet Your Baker. Isn't this a cool thing? I'm so this is the future, Jess. Like I am so excited about this program that I got asked to use. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try it out for free, and I was like, "Heck to yeah! I always like trying out new things." So, let's go to the Meet Your Baker character list, and you guys can sort of look at it while I read the synopsis for those that have not read it or just jumping in or, that good stuff. So, welcome to Tort, a friendly small town bake shop where the treats are so good that sometimes it's criminal. After graduating from culinary school, Juliet Capshaw returns to her quaint hometown of Ashland, Oregon, to heal a broken heart and help her mom at the family bakery. The Oregon Shakespeare Festival, or OSF as it is often referred to, is bringing in lots of tourists looking for some crumpets to go with their heroic couplets. But when one of Tort's customers turns up dead, there's much ado about murder. The victim is Nancy Hudson, the festival's newest board member. A modern-day Lady Macbeth, Nancy has given more than a few actors and artists enough reasons to kill her. But still, the silver lining, Jules' high school sweetheart, Thomas, is the investigator on the case. His flirtations are as delicious as ever, and Jules can't help but want to have her cake and eat it too. But will she have her just desserts? Murder might be bad for business, but love is the sweetest treat of all. Okay, so this is a reread for me. And I know that for many of you guys, this is also a reread. So, what were your overall thoughts as a reread? And then those that this is the first time that you've picked up this series, what were your thoughts as a first time reader? While I'm waiting for you guys to answer, I will actually tell you what my thoughts are. So this is actually the third time that I've read Meet Your Baker. And I have always given it 4 stars across the board. I think that one of the main reasons that I have given it 4 stars is, especially now that I've read 17 in the series, I really, really, really needed Jules to mature a little bit. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I gave it a 4 stars and I still give it a 4 stars is because I need her to mature a little bit. And I'm not going to give you spoilers into any of the other books in the series because that's what we're doing for Tasting Through Tort, the reread of this series. But I still feel like even now, my third time reading it, that I still think that it's a solid 4 stars. This is still my favorite series, cozy series of all time. So I think it's okay for me to give it a 4 stars. Amber says that she is enjoying the reread. She is surprised about how much she forgot. Girl, I forgot almost the whole entire plot of this book. Like, I didn't remember the whodunit. I'm like, seriously, Courtney, you've read it. This is your third, fourth time reading it and you don't remember the whodunit? No, I did not. Stacy says this was a reread for me. It's still just as good, and I'm looking forward to continuing the series, which I didn't do last time. Yay! I'm so glad that you're going to read in the series. So flipping glad. My son is obsessed with Minions right now, so everything is Minions. Jess said, I agree with this one. She could have walked away, but came back to him and demanded to have a conversation about Carlos's child. I loved the twists. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. I was surprised at how little we knew about the characters in the first book, but we were still able to care about them. I agree. I couldn't agree more with this. I still like I remember really not liking Stephanie my first couple of reads through this. So let's go through some of the characters and I'll pop some more of your guys' thoughts on the screen. But we've got Juliet Montague Capshaw, or Jules, is our main character. She is a culinary chef. She is a baker, a pastry chef. We've got Andy, the barista, who makes killer drinks, killer lattes. We've got Stephanie, who at this point in the series is just a waitress turned sometimes baker. She's very, very emo and gothic chic and has like a lot of emotions going on. Helen, Jules's mom, is like the quintessential mom. I want to hug her and love on her. I don't know about you guys because it is, I love Helen. We've got Lance, the OSF artistic director, and he is also a suspect as one of our killers. I don't know if you guys watched my newest video, but I'm using this app called Fable to continue with tasting with Tort. And someone commented on there because like we can have actual like conversations and community with there, unlike with Patreon where it's just like me posting stuff. Like you guys can actually post stuff. And so I'm going to do Fable with the tasting with Tort reread, and I think I already have over 30 people that have jumped onto that. But someone wrote that that Lance really like gave her like the creepy vibes, and I'm like, I can't wait until everybody gets to like grow with these characters and really like see like how they become. Okay, we've got Caroline, the OSF actress, suspect, and our killer. Nancy Hudson, we've got our victim and OSF board member. We've got Deputy Tommy, or Thomas Adams, Jules's high school sweetheart. Detective Doug Curtis, the professor. Mia, who claimed to be Andy's girlfriend. Richard Lord, someone that I actually want to throat punch. I just want to just like, ah. And then Carlos, Jules's husband, and Sterling is sort of like an emo kind of boy that has a connection with Stephanie, and is also another suspect. So that's sort of our people here. You guys can always go over to the Patreon and see the full A4 size sheet that I make every single month. But let's go back to some of your guys' thoughts on it. First time reader, like the town, characters, and mystery. Some places a little slow, like the reason she wasn't with her husband took forever to be told. That's another thing that I had. I was like, come on, I just want to know. But isn't that kind of smart of the author to be like, you guys really want to know what's happening? What's at the end? Like, why did she get up and leave? That's kind of smart there. Renee, it took me a minute to get into the groove with Juliet. Felt the same. She needed to mature. Felt a little led on by why she left Carlos. I agree, because you're thinking, oh, did he cheat? Like, what could be so bad? And I feel like it was kind of immature of Jules to leave that way. But you have like I realize how hurt she was when she's been married to him for years, and he never not once mentioned that he had a kid. I'm looking forward to continuing the series. Not sure why I didn't. First time reader here. I loved the culinary aspect and learning about Jules' previous career. Yes, I love that. And Ellie just came out with a sort of like prequel story of how Jules got to where she was, and it's also sort of like a little snippet into her previous career. Um, Loved the pace of the book. Every chapter had something new, a teaser to keep me going. Yes, I love how she ends it sort of like with like a cliffhanger at the end of every chapter that makes you go, okay, just one more chapter. Just one more chapter, right? Just one more. Love Lance. Yes. Hey, Priscilla. How are you? I must have missed where this is other read. Okay, so I put at the end of last year, I am doing a full-on reread of the Bake Shop Mystery series. At the end of every month, I am going to be baking a recipe on the last Saturday of every month and doing a spoilery, very deep dive into that book. Fun fact, every month, Ellie Alexander is also, along with the St. Martin's, her publishing company, is going to be giving away one of the books for that month's reread. So at the end of tonight's live stream, I'm going to pull a name and you will get sent to you A Batter of Life and Death, the second book in the series. And I thought that it would be super cool there's this app on your phone called Fable, and I have a whole video on it. You can go and check it out, but it sort of brings in more of a community in talking about it. If we like it for that, then we might use it for book club, but I didn't want to like spring something totally new on you guys if you're cool with just Patreon and a live stream. I didn't want you guys to feel like you had to do another app. But if you want, go check out that video. I show you everything. My library jumps to 11. I want to continue, but I'll have to wait. If you use the Kindle Unlimited, they have Batter of Life and Death for free on Kindle Unlimited if you have it. Okay, I'm on book 11, but I remember guessing every character as the killer, even people that weren't on the page, like a mailman. I love that it kept me guessing. This is my all-time favorite series. Yes, girl, yes. I couldn't agree more. I'm not gonna lie, I did not remember who the killer was. I did not at all. Okay, so Courtney, focus. I want to read this book again, but my library starts at 11. I am so sorry. Why does your library start at 11? That just seems rude. You might talk to your librarian about that and see what they can do about that. If you read ebooks, you could get the Libby app. It is on the Libby app, and you could read it ebook style if that's something that you like. Okay, so what did you guys think about Juliet and how she ended up back home? I know we're just now starting the discussion like 17 minutes in. But what did you guys think about it? So I know that it took all the way to the end of the book for the big drop to come on and say that the reason why Juliet came home was because she found letters in Carlos's sock drawer from his son. I think Ramiro is I think like 8 or 9 at this point in the series. Um I I I think that it was I don't know. I think that it was like I understand why she was upset, because I would be 100% upset and hurt, and it just it hurt my heart for her. But I think that this also shows sort of how young she is. Carlos is 10 years older than her, which I did not remember. Like, I just finished reading Muffin But the Truth, and there's no way in heck I remembered that Carlos was 10 years older than Jules, which explains a lot. And so I feel like she also just used it as a way to get home. I think that she was already feeling homesick and that she already needed a reason to go home, and this was the reason why she did that. I feel like that's sort of something that happened. Let's see. I wouldn't mind for it to be part of the book club, because sometimes I want to talk to someone about reading it. Oh yes, with the Fable app. I agree. Let's see. My heart. Oh, let me see. There it is. My heart really hurt over this type of betrayal. Especially like when kids are involved, my heart just sort of like cries for them and it makes me really, really sad. I didn't like that she left Carlos because he had a child. If he was still married or cheated, different story. And I think that so part of me is like, yes, I agree. But the other part of me is like, did she leave because he has a child or did she leave because of the betrayal of not telling her that he had a child? That is something huge that you don't tell someone. When I first read this book, it was 2017 and it was the beginning of 2017, so I was 26. I had no idea. Like I love children. I'd been a teacher for 5 years at that point. Um but I didn't really know. Like, you don't really know until you have kids. And now that I have Alex and Nick, I feel the betrayal even more of like not giving her the chance to even know him. That hurts. Um, I don't understand why Carlos didn't just tell Jules about his son. It's not like he was cheating on her. Ramiro was the result. I agree. Like he should have told her that he had already been married. And that there was a child. Like I don't think that would have stopped her. She's so in love with Carlos. I don't think that would have stopped her from continuing on. Janine, I think she panicked and needed space to clear her head. Can't get that space on a cruise ship, so she went to the safest place. I agree. I could not agree more. So fast forward, she's home now. She's living above the one of the shops on Main Street in Ashland. And if you haven't looked or Googled pictures of Ashland, guys, you need to. It is freaking stunning. I want to go more than I can possibly even even tell you. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen to show you what it looks like. It is absolutely stunning. Like this is OSF. Like doesn't that just like it's breathtaking. Especially like I just I cannot I just can't I can't even explain to you how flipping gorgeous this place is. And it's real. Like it's a place you can actually visit. It's absolutely stunning. I love it so much. Um and so I I don't think I would ever have left. Um, it's one thing when in an early relationship, but they got married. When it became serious, he should have said something. I agree. Jules loved being at sea, so I think it took something dramatic to make her leave. Yes, most people go home to ground themselves. It was a realistic choice for the story. I agree, and I loved the symbolism of her grounding herself at home on land and the symbolism of throughout the story about her being wobbly and her trying to gain traction after being home or away from home for so long. I really, really loved that bit. Maybe being immature caused her to be rash and leave without stopping and thinking things a bit. Yeah, I went to Ashland as a teenager and loved it. Fun to read a book about a place I've been. Yes, there's so many cozies that the places that they're in aren't real. Um, and so I loved being able to go and look at pictures of it. Kindle Unlimited has Meet Your Baker for anyone who wants to pick it up. Yay! Ellie has an entire video where she walks through Ashland and it brings the story to life. Yes, if you guys haven't subscribed to her YouTube channel, it's brilliant and fantastic. She also has TikTok, which is awesome. Looks like Kindle Unlimited has book 2. Yes. Hi, just got home. Hey, Brooke, so good to see you. I liked that she had to go back to move forward. I love the way you said that. That was perfectly put, Laura. Also, on a side note, Lisa, Lily is at the hospital with her mom, and she's not going to make it tonight. So if you guys could send her all of the good vibes and just, all the positive thoughts for her mom. She's starting to feel better, but if you could, that would be awesome. Okay. So we've got our she has sort of come in and she sort of started to take control of Tort. I don't know how I felt about that at first when she'd been gone for so long, but it really seemed like Helen needed Jules to help pick up Tort from the ground, because Helen's kind heart had basically bankrupted herself through the recession and things like that. So what were your thoughts about Nancy at first? So we come in and Lance is there with Caroline getting some food, and then Nancy comes in and she's hoity-toity and says really, really snarky, hateful things to Caroline about her waist and not eating pastries and all of those things. What were your thoughts about like Lance as the artistic director, Nancy and Caroline, sort of that whole entire scene in the book? I think that it was set up really, really well. I know that one of the inspirations that Ellie had when writing this scene is she was, I think, and she can totally correct me, but I remember her saying that she was at a cafe and this one woman came in and she was a complete and utter witch to the barista. And she was sort of like, I want to kill off a character like that. Like that seems like that seems like something we need to do. And then she did. She wrote it. She killed off the character. Brooke, I was immediately like, so which page is Nancy dying on? Yes. Yes. I agree. She was just a hateful, hateful person. Like I did not like her at all. I was totally fine with her dying. Like didn't bother me at all. Who did you guys think the killer was? So the potential people to kill her was Mia, because Mia was the first person that you're sort of brought upon. She's leaving Tort, or so Jules is coming in early to bake, and she runs into Mia in the middle of the morning at like 3:30 in the morning, and she has jam all over her hands, and she's leaving Tort area. And Jules is like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Where did you get that jam?" And she's like, "Oh, Andy, my boyfriend, lent it to me." And she like licks it off her hand. And then you find out from Andy that one, Mia is not his girlfriend. And two, that she was hired by Nancy to write her life's story, which how cocky is that? Like, you're going to write my biography. And so there's Mia, and then we find that the only reason why Nancy even hired Mia is because she divulged to Mia that Richard Lord was her dad. That poor, poor, poor girl. That poor girl. And so I think Richard was being blackmailed by Nancy, if I remember correctly, and he was also a suspect. Secretly wanted it to be him because I hate him. But Ellie writes a really, really good Richard Lord, and I still hate him. So that's saying something, like 17 books in. So we've got Mia who could have done it, Richard who could have done it. Then we have Sterling. So I remember reading or seeing that Ellie originally wanted Sterling to be the killer. Sterling was in town because Nancy was engaged to his father and took off with all of the wedding and honeymoon money. And that was not cool. And so Sterling, he had a really, really hard life because his mom died. He got into drugs. He cleaned himself up and he wanted to pay his dad back. And so he came to Ashland on a whim and met Stephanie, befriended Stephanie, and then was trying to sort of like get his money back for his dad. Then there's Lance, which I also thought that Lance was the killer when I first read this. And then I think there was, see, like, Caroline was sort of like a suspect to me, but like not really, especially after she smartly got herself injured. Though she was trying to injure Lance and kill Lance, she ended up hurting herself, which I thought was pretty funny. So it looks like Nancy was not nice. No. Uh Janine thought it was Lance, definitely thought it was Lance for a good bit of the book because he's really, really creepy throughout it. Like, he's like playing it up. Lance, but kept switching on who I thought the killer was. Agreed. The name Richard Lord is so perfect for that man. I could not agree more. Yes. Lance seemed shady, so it could have been him. And I think he also like played up the shadiness. Like 100% he played up the shadiness. I have a tendency to dismiss the first suspect as too obvious, but it was a minute before I started suspecting the actual criminal. Yes. I never suspected Sterling, actually. Sad emo boy vibes. Yes. Very, very, very true. Um, and those were the nicest little introverts when I was in high school. Agreed. Never suspected Lance. He seemed the type to not get his hands dirty, right? He would pay someone to do it. I don't like guessing who might be the killer, but what I do instead is wish so hard one of them wasn't. In this case, Andy. I was hoping he wasn't. I agree. Andy has my heart. I want to have all of the coffee drinks made by that kid, and I want him to be my little brother really, really bad. I freaking love Andy. Okay. So, one of the things that you'll notice if you continue on the reread of this series with me is there are a lot of droplets of Shakespeare sprinkled throughout the book. Um, Ellie's dad what is a retired English teacher, I believe, and they dressed up for Shakespeare festivals, and I know that that was just something that she really depicted the professor as her dad, and she has videos on that as well. Um, and so, what did you guys think about the droplets of Shakespeare sprinkled throughout the book? I personally loved it because I didn't really get into Shakespeare in high school, and I feel like I should have. I feel like that would have really jived with me as teenage Courtney, but I never did. And so I really love being able to get little snippets dropped throughout the book. And I like the fact that the professor is really good at explaining his references, or that Ellie's really good at writing around the references so that it doesn't seem as though you're reading a highbrow kind of book about Shakespeare, but that it makes sense with what's going on in the book. I really liked that. I was fine with all the quotes. I love the Shakespeare references, loved them. I liked the Shakespeare references, even if I wasn't familiar with all the plays. Exactly. Like, I was not. Like, I know the basic plays, but like, I don't know any of the obscure ones, and I liked it. Um, I enjoyed it. A great quirk for the professor's character. Yes. I also want the professor to be my grandpa. Literally, I can't explain to you guys how much I love every single character that like becomes a main character in this series. It is amazing. It was cute. It it has to be expected, and it in that town too. Agreed. Like, it totally made sense. It didn't seem out of character or weird. I really, really liked that. Um, what were your thoughts about all of the food in the book? Was it just enough to make your mouth water, or did you think it was too much of a distraction? One of the first times I read this, at the beginning of when book club started, someone had commented and told me that there was too much food talk in the book and it was too distracting, and that's why they weren't going to continue the series. So what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, you know my thoughts on it because I'm literally either tomorrow or Friday I'm going to be making the raspberry Danish um from the book. Like, I already bought all of the materials for the raspberry Danish, and I am so excited to make it, film it, and talk to you guys about the book in depth and all of that. So I'm, of course, 1,000,000% down for it. And it's a bake shop mystery. Of course, there's going to be food in it, and there's going to be all of the mouth-watering sweets. Did I go to a local bakery twice and get a raspberry cream Danish warmed and a latte while reading this book? Yes. Am I influenced by the books I read? Yes. I'm very much influenced by it. It's kind of ridiculous. I should have more self-control. Alas, I don't. It makes me want to research Shakespeare and then visit Ashland. One of these days I'm going to visit. I love food cozy, so I enjoyed it. I like baking cozies, and I love all the descriptions of the food. I love the food, but these are my favorite types of cozies. Agreed. I love all the food. I love to bake and wanted to with each reference, right? I just wanted like all of them to pop up in my kitchen. I can't imagine a baker as a protagonist and there not be food talk, right? Exactly. The title is Meet Your Baker. You should expect mouthwatering food. I love culinary cozy, so I didn't mind, but I can understand why some people might find it a bit much since Ellie gives the instructions for the recipes throughout the book. She does. And one of the things that I love is that if you read the book, she gives you more directions within the chapters than in the recipes at the back. So, like, I highlighted certain things that she talked about. Like, one of the things that I loved is she warms up her cup for coffee before putting the coffee in it. That is super smart, and I forgot about that. So what have I been doing? Warming up my cup before I put coffee in it, because then it doesn't cool down the temperature as fast. I love it. I also appreciated she incorporated food into the second murder. Yes. See, it's so good. So good. Yes, my husband started warming my mug, right? It's brilliant. Like, why didn't I ever think of that? I love it. Love it. Okay. We already talked about what our thoughts were on Jules leaving Carlos. Um, did you think that Jules did an excellent job as an amateur sleuth to figure out the whodunit? What were your thoughts on her as an amateur sleuth? I feel like it all made sense. Like with her ex being a one of the sheriffs, and with her mom basically dating the professor, and them asking her to keep an eye on things because Tort is such a presence in the community. It made sense to me, and it didn't feel too far-fetched, and she didn't necessarily go too much out of her way than she normally would to check on the people. But I liked it. I liked it. Um I want to try the cold brew coffee. Yes, agreed. She made me nervous, Brooke. She felt a bit rogue since she had been away from Ashland for so long. I can totally see that as well. I think she did okay as a sleuth with no investigation experience. Yes, I want to, for those that are going to continue with this series with me, let's keep that question in our back pocket, how she grows as a sleuth as the books go on. Does she get better? Does she get worse? I want to talk about that. I think that Jules was great as an amateur sleuth. I got so nervous when she went to the theater. That's when I started really suspecting Lance, right? As she's like going up and she keeps trying to leave, and he's like, no, continue to the office. I have to pay you. Super, super creepy. Like, I even had felt my heart speeding up reading, even though I knew Lance wasn't the killer. Like, ugh. Me too, Janine. I thought she did well investigating. It didn't seem forced. She kind of scared me when she put herself in danger at the end, but she was a good sleuth. Agreed. I'm glad that we're all of that. Do you think Ellie left enough clues for you guys to guess the whodunit, or did you think the murderer came out of nowhere? I feel like even though this is my third time reading this book, I still felt like, oh gosh, it's Nancy. Nancy's the killer. I did not see it coming, even though I should have seen it coming. And I don't know if there were a lot of clues dropped or left. Like, I could see why she would want to kill Nancy. But I was Like Brooke said, blindsided. That's a good way to put it. 100% blindsided. I couldn't agree more. I didn't guess it at all until it was revealed. Now, for those that were blindsided, did it make you angry that you hadn't guessed it? It didn't make me angry at all. I was totally fine with it. Didn't make me salty. I didn't say it. Yes, Caroline. I said it was Nancy. Nancy's not the killer. Caroline's the killer. Yes, I did not expect Caroline at all. Yeah. No, I love it when I'm surprised. Agreed. Like at this point, as long as it doesn't feel like I was cheated as a reader, I'm totally chill with not figuring it out. I'm gonna take more of a Jess route of I'm going to go who I don't want the killer to be. No, wasn't angry. I hate when I guess the killer before the book is over. Yeah, I was reading so many cozies one year, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, that I was almost always able to guess who the killer was by like 70%. Not gonna lie, that kind of took a little bit of the fun out of it. Especially since Caroline got hurt, it was hard to guess her. Agreed. Yes, she was a believable killer, so it was an awesome reveal. Yes, yes, yes. I could not agree more. Okay. No, I did not mind not knowing the killer. I'm reading the books for enjoyment. I like the way you said that. Yes. Okay, so what is the dessert you think sounded the best in the book? So there were so many desserts, and I don't know if you guys have your physical copies, but I do. So there was the raspberry Danish, the summer cilantro pasta salad, bacon wrapped figs, the natillas Spanish pudding, chocolate hazelnut tort with the mocha buttercream frosting, the spicy peach puff pastry, Brazilian cheese muffins, sweet heat espresso. That one sounded really good. Yeah. I of course, like the raspberry Danish is the one that I'm choosing. But the chocolate hazelnut tort sounds really good, and I've been really loving spice lately. So the spicy peach puff pastry also sounds flipping amazing. All of these sound amazing. And Ellie bakes a lot of her own stuff and puts them on TikTok and YouTube if you want to see her do it. How can I pick the best food? Spicy peach puff pastry sounded fabulous. The chocolate hazelnut tort for Lance. Pasta salad and bacon wrapped figs. The bacon wrapped figs sounded amazing. Hazelnut tort. God, guys, I'm so hungry. Spicy peach puff pastry sounds delicious. I love raspberries, so I would definitely eat the Danish. Raspberries are my favorite fruit. Agreed. Every beverage Andy creates in all of the books. Oh, that reminds me how much her food was so influenced by Carlos's culture. I hope she finds more of her own culinary voice in later books. I agree. I loved that. So, are you guys going to continue the series with me? I really want to know because I hope you are. Are you guys going to? Ooh, let's create a poll. Are you going to continue the series? Let's see. There we go. I'm super, super excited about it. And while you guys are saying like yes or no about continuing the series, make sure to put the quotation marks around your answer and they should pop up. But I am going to, if you are continuing with the series, I am going to take a random number of the yeses and I'm going to then pick who the winner for a batter of life and death, because Ellie is going to send one to you all. So I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds to say whether or not you are going to join in. And then if you say yes or yeah, I will add those on here. So we've got 9 votes right here. And then, can I move this? I don't think I can move it. Okay. And then we've got Amber saying yes. It looks like we've got a majority of the people that are going to be doing it. Apparently, I can't move my face. Okay, so let's see. All right. Hey Siri. Give me a number between 1 and 20.
That would be 2.
2. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way up to where people started saying yes. Alicia, you have won the copy of A Batter of Life and Death. If you already have it, that's okay. Ellie will send you one that is signed like this. But will you message me on Instagram and give me your address, and then I will send your address to. Oh, you won last time. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm horrible at remembering things. Hey Siri, give me a number between 1 and 20.
It's 11.
11. Okay, let me go back up here. Thank you for telling me that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Zena, are you still here? Zena? For a batter of life and death? Zena? I want to make sure that she's still here because I don't know if I have her on Instagram. Yay, you're here. Okay, message me on Instagram and I will send you your address to Ellie. Now, for next month's book, we have the theme of hobbies, and the book that won is Pleading for Mercy by Melissa Bourbon. And so it says all of the Cassidy women possess special gifts. Harlow Jane Cassidy is creating beautiful dresses, but she's about to discover secrets in her own family and another gift, one that can reach beyond the grave. I love this series and I'm super excited because it was paused, but she is publishing more in this series on her own, and I'm so excited to have more of our Cassidy women because you guys will know. Like, I can't wait to talk about this with you guys next month. I'm so glad that you guys are loving the new streaming platform. That makes my heart super happy. I love Melissa Bourbon, and this series is my favorite. Yes, I'm so excited about the new books coming out too. Libby and Hoopla don't have this book for me, but I'll be here to find out what everyone thinks. Okay, I'm sorry. They do have it for Kindle Unlimited if you have it, Renee. But I hear Nicholas is needing to be fed and Alex is needing to be put down for bed. So thank you guys so much for coming and joining in. If you're going to do the reread, we're going to start A Batter of Life and Death. You can go over on the Fable app and introduce yourself. I am so excited to be going on a Bake Shop mystery journey with you and for continuing with book club this year. You guys are absolutely amazing. Good night, everyone. I will talk to you guys in the comments of the videos, and I will see you guys live on the last Wednesday of February, and I should have the bookmark out for this soon on our Patreon. So, oh yeah, don't forget to like my videos and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm horrible at promoting myself, but love you guys. Bye.